And have you heard this criticism before?
I have, and I agree with it. I think perhaps a mandatory minimum 1-year sentence might deter an individual from buying a gun. Some people view this as no more consequential than doing 65 and a 55.
And the Justice Department...
If the gentlelady will suspend, I want to caution the witnesses that the scope of this, your testimony here, is limited, and that is not about proposed legislation and the like, and under our House rules would not fall within the scope of this. So anecdotally, you can have opinions, but ultimately it would not be considered valid testimony.
Yes, sir.
Point of order, Mr. Chairman.
Are these...
The gentleman will state his point of order.
Yes. Let me just, the officer for Sully in his testimony has a statement, Mr. Chairman, that I read, where he says that these firearms are ending up on both sides of the border. And I think it's only fair that, since it's his statement, that she, and that's basically what she's pretty much going to, but...
The gentlelady can ask any question she wants within the scope of the hearing. Under Rule 11, Clause 2K8, it's the discretion of the committee as to the breadth of the testimony. Any question related to the operations or the failures of Fast and Furious or factual indications of what occurred in Arizona or throughout the system are within the scope of the hearing. Proposed legislation at a federal level and whether or not they should be changed are outside the scope of not only this hearing, but would not ordinarily fall under the jurisdiction of this committee.
Just to
may continue.
further point, order, Mr. Chairman. It's my understanding of the rules is that you can object to the question, but you can't tell the witness what to testify to.
Well, reclaiming my time, I appreciate the Chairman's statement, and I appreciate your statement earlier when you said you wanted full answers and full prosecution. And I think it's certainly within the scope of this hearing to understand why we're not getting a full prosecution. And the allegation that they call them paper excuses as opposed to a valid, concrete way to react, I think is a valid way to go forward.
The gentlelady's
I'm supporting your statements.
The gentlelady, if she would suspend for just a moment, the gentlelady's questions and whether or not the gentleman believes that law enforcement was doing its job or that the courts were properly enforcing and whether that may have led to actions is fully within the scope. Anything that these individuals witnessed in or around Fast and Furious is certainly within the scope. I only caution we're not here to talk about proposed gun legislation. It would be outside